Hello guys, it's your girl Vhenekai and welcome to my YouTube channel. People have been responding, it's been so cute, people saying how they're moving for the first time and it's really helped them, and it just made me feel like I'm not the only one in this position where you literally do not know like the cost of a plate, for example. So hopefully this one is a lot more helpful because it is more into actually like the serious side. Like looking for a plate is serious because you need to know what you're gonna eat on. I kid you not guys, I have made a mistake and that's how I've learned on this journey alone. And if I didn't have time and people, I think it's so important to talk your things out with people like you trust and are close to you, because there was this apartment that I saw, fell in love. Oh my goodness, fell in love, but it was £300 per month over my budget. I actually put in an offer because I was like, they're never gonna accept it. They accepted. And they were like, can you pay your holding fee so we can take it off the market for you and we'll start running the background checks. I was like, oh my goodness me. And I was so naive when I started looking. I was like, oh yeah, I know my salary. Let me just start looking at like, I think I must have started up on the high end of like 1.5. And then I sat down and I was like, but does this actually work out? The more places I found and the more I liked them, the more I was like, does this actually work out? Like, could I actually move into this place? So here comes the tips that I have found very, very useful when doing this whole moving process over the last month and a half. So number one is knowing your budget. I think it is so important for you to know your budget. And when I say this, like knowing your finances more than knowing your budget. So in that, I mean like, what's your monthly income? Like if you have one job, two jobs, if someone gives you money every month, you get money from something, like all of that accumulated, what comes into your account every single month. Also know what goes out. Now, when I say what goes out, I do not mean your PLT shops. I don't mean you going to get a cheeky Nando's. I mean like, what can you not go without in the month paying for? So for me, I put my cars on finance, so that is a must. Every single month I know I'm paying for the finance of my car. Sometimes you can't work this out straight away. Maybe spend a month or two just to see how, like, what you're spending, like what do you need to spend on fuel or whatever your monthly expenses are, your phone bill and things like that. Understand what you have to spend every month rather than what you actually spend every month, because those are two very, very different things. I had to actually like sit back and think, what do I actually need to pay every single month for me to make it through the month without debt collectors on my back? Number two is, what is your max and min? Now in this comes a couple of things. Like you have to know when you move in what certain things you want, what certain standards you want the place to have. Like I would rather spend the extra £200 a month on a place if I know as soon as I move in, I'm happy, like I'm at peace. I don't feel like I have to add anything. I don't have to take anything away from it. It's just, I can move in and I can do a good like 6 months. That's how I always think of it. I'm like, can I move in and spend 6 months with it as it is? And it's just literally my clothes and me that move in. If the answer is yes, I'm going to go and view that place. I'm going to inquire about the place. If the answer is no, I just don't simply bother, because I know myself and I know, yes, oh yay, whoop whoop, I'm spending £800 a month on rent, but I hate how the place looks. Like I walk in and I'm not proud to call it mine. I don't want anyone to come over. I don't even want my boyfriend to come and see this place. I genuinely feel like it's just trash and I don't want that on me. It's not even from an outside look. I want to enter the place that I'm paying for, sit down and be like, I'm home. You also need to remember, you got to pay council tax. You're going to pay your water bill. You're going to pay your gas and electric. Sometimes it's just electric. Look those up. I set myself in Birmingham City, I said that I'm not going into band C and below because it was just too high for me. It ended up hitting like the 2,000 thing per annum. And I was like, I'm not spending like nearly £200 a month for council tax alone. You've also got to think like gas and electric. You can actually, when you're looking this up, search it up online and see what it's like for the areas you're looking at. You can put in the postcode and like just check. I would also set a limit on that as well. Like if you're moving in on your own, you don't want to spend, I don't know, more than £50 a month on it. Like, add that all up together. And does that work with you? If it works with you, absolutely brilliant, absolutely great, fabuloso, move in, babes. So just a little tip, you can actually pay less than what is advertised. You can go, and they say a safe bet for you not to be laughed at by the landlord and estate agent is going under asking price by 10%. Now, it always does depend on how many people want the place. Have a lot of other people gone in at asking price? How long has it been on the market for? There are factors that tend to weigh up your chances of being accepted at you going under asking price, but it is always worth it. Like sorry, if you like a place and it is about 10% over your budget, it is always worth just checking, like going to the, like putting in an offer straight away, going to the landlord, estate agent, and being like, this is what I can offer, I can move in on this date, will you accept my offer? And it's just below, it's like 10% below what you're asking is, and sometimes it can come back as a yes. So go your move in date, because that's very key. A lot of landlords want the place off the market ASAP. So don't, if you're planning to move out, let's say in August, don't start looking in May. Look more June time. Maybe I'd even say end of June. Just because the maximum time I feel like landlords will hold the place is about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, it has to be that no one else has put in an offer, you've gone in at a really good offer, and everything else is smooth about it. But I wouldn't give more than 3 weeks from when you place the offer to when you can move in. I try and keep it to about 3 weeks, maybe a month depending on some landlords, but 3 weeks tends to be the aim. So if you're seeing places that are saying available now but you don't want to move for another 2 months, forget about it. Forget about it. This is not yours. It is not yours. If you're lucky and the place is still available in like a month and a half, place your offer and fingers crossed that will be your place. Another one is when you are thinking about moving in and you're like, yes, I'm going to move in on this day, I can afford the rent, great days, everything is affordable. Remember, you have a security deposit. Remember, you have a security deposit. Now, some places these days are very, very nice and they will offer a redeposit scheme. I think it's called a scheme. I don't know if scheme is actually part of the title, but redeposit basically, where you pay nothing. Some places do say you pay 1 week's rent, but that's non-refundable, whereas the security deposit is refundable at the end of your tenancy on the basis that you have left the place almost just like you never moved in, basically. So they are those three options. You can go in with a zero deposit, you can do a 1 week's deposit, or you do the usual like 5-6 weeks depending on the price of the property. Redeposit and the 1 week is not always guaranteed, and a lot of places sometimes zero deposit, redeposit, 1 week's deposit, those kind of things, they're not always available for every single property. So also consider that in mind when you're ready to move in. Have your first month's rent and have your deposit available to you. So when you are making your offer, make sure you have the money ready to put in a holding fee. This takes it off the market. Your offer being accepted is not enough for it to be taken off the market. You need to then pay money to them for them to take it off the market. This does come out of your first month's rent, so it's not money lost, it's not extra money, it comes out of your first month's rent. So I'd say this is my final and most important tip: go and view as many places as possible. Really feel the space. You might like the places from the videos, but I promise you it may not look the same in person. Also get a feel for how big it is. And when I was going to each one, I was like, okay, I work from home, I want a desk. Where can my desk possibly fit? I'm in the space. Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel cramped? Like if you're someone that likes that space, then go and view places, because some places that I also viewed that looked great in the pictures were very cramped when I actually got to the properties themselves. Learn what you want, and sometimes it helps you narrow down your checklist, so you're not just inquiring any next property. So yeah, they're all my tips. Now the part that we've all been waiting for, and what I would have sat around waiting for as well, the viewings. Now I have 5 videos. I don't know why I deleted so many, and I have tried to look through like my cloud hoping that they backed up twice and they're still there, but they're not, which I guess is kind of a good thing, because that would mean like all these pictures of ex people in my life would be in there, and I'd just be going through that absolutely traumatized, like I'm watching them on my iPad here, so I'll be looking at them while talking about them. So hopefully I'll be kind of reliving the moment of seeing them as well. I'm not moving into any of these apartments. Okay, number one, I actually really liked this apartment. Like, I saw 3 different apartments in this block, and I loved the living space. I loved the kitchen. The marble in the kitchen is absolutely beautiful. The bedrooms, I think they had good space in them. The bathroom, there was another one that I viewed which had different tiles on the back, which I preferred to the brown maroon tiles you see in that video. The counter tax band was too high for me, and on top of that I'd have had to pay $150 for parking. The second thing was its location. It was located right by a cemetery, and the apartment I loved the most, yeah, literally morning view was going to be the cemetery. So I was like, no, I cannot move in. When I looked at this apartment on Rightmove, I didn't actually see the cemetery itself on there. Property number 2, this was if you live in Birmingham, you could probably already guess where this is located. This was an interesting one for me to go and view because the windows do not open, and I remember thinking, why would I move into a place where the windows don't open? I actually really like this place. Came with a microwave, toaster and kettle. How nice of them, because nowhere else is offering that. The living room space and the kitchen space was open, like all of them are, and it was really nice. This place also came with a Hoover. No one else is offering me a Hoover, but it did. But it just smelled really damp. Both bedrooms were such a good size. I don't know the damp smell, if that will go from when they air it out, when they get it ready for you to move in. Obviously, they don't get it ready until a couple of days before you do move in. But both bedrooms I absolutely loved. I thought the space in them was lovely. One of them I would have made into like a second bedroom / office for me to work from home from. This was priced really well. I think this was priced at like $1,100, and it also came with parking. Now some people are gonna be like, accept the damp smell for the price. It was the apartment I saw after this that knocked this one out. Otherwise, this, I was actually so close to moving in. I was like, I'll handle the damp smell. This apartment was traumatizing. This is the one where I said like the pictures online looked really nice, but then when I went to go and see it, I didn't like it. The bedroom, the bed was nice. The wardrobe, depressing. I wouldn't fit any of my clothes in that wardrobe. One. The bathroom, it looked like it needed a lot of work. I didn't like the feel of the kitchen. Like, it felt really cramped, and I know it's just me, but I don't know, I wanted something with a bit more. The dishwasher size was great though for one bed. The corridor of the place, like leading up to the flat, didn't like it. The building itself, I didn't like it. The area, it was really hard to get parking. One, I think you had to get a permit. I don't know how much they are. It's just, I walked in and I was like, I don't like it here. Like, I don't like it here. I knew I wouldn't feel at home. It was a complete no from me. This one, if you have been in Rightmove, if you've looked in Birmingham City Centre, you would have seen this place come up maybe a few times, but it's mostly the 2 beds and 3 beds that are available for this place. I absolutely loved this apartment. This is the one where I said I just put an offer down, even though it was nothing that I could afford realistically. Oh gosh, I can't even speak. The wardrobe, the bathroom, I guess that was my downside for this apartment, was the fact that it was out of my budget because of council tax. But the balcony there, the living room space, like there was just so much space. And I do get it's a 2 bed, but even that 1 bed didn't feel like half the size, kind of. It was just, no, this place was perfect. I absolutely fell in love with it. Honestly, if someone wanted to give me £400 a month, I would have moved into this place in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And then I think this is the last one I'm showing you guys. This was a nice one. It looked a lot bigger in the pictures. The living room space felt really cramped when I walked in. The window's also quite small. It is a thing for me. I want light to come through. I love natural light. There wasn't that much natural light. Everything just felt like it was on top of each other. It was like the kitchen ends, then the little dining table, and then the living room. All of a sudden, it just felt like it was basically like I could almost cook from sitting on the sofa, is how it felt to me when I walked in. And also walking in, this is a picky thing from me, walking in and you go straight into the kitchen. I don't know how I feel so funny about that. Like, I want to walk into the apartment and then you know, there's a bit going on before I get to the kitchen, whereas this was you walk in kitchen, boom. I was like, whoa, slow down. They are the ones I have still got the videos from, so glad I got to keep those to show you. I like them all online, but when I got to see them, I didn't like them all. The space is what I'm saying, it's so key to just go and see it in person. There's some of these places where I thought I'd be fine, I walked in, I was like, I'm not fine. I hope this video has helped you if you are looking to move out for the first time, or even if you've moved out before but like you just want to know what the market is like now. The market is in Birmingham specifically, and I guess this will go for a lot of city centres. The market is moving like that. People are moving in like that. I say summer is the worst time because nobody wants to move in winter. So this is a time when everybody's moving. I wish you all the best with your moving process. I really hope this has helped. If there's anything I've left out, do include it in the comment section below. Let's just all help each other, because moving on your own, child, can be stressful. Even with other people, it can be stressful. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful, insightful, and yeah, I've said this already, but I do wish you all the best if you are moving. If you've gotten up to this point, thank you so much. Love you lots. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.